How's it going, YouTube? And welcome back to the channel. Now in this video I'm just going to do a short recap of EURUSD that I took this week for a sell based on the Evolve T&G strategy. Now starting out on the weekly, I'm going to go down from the weekly down to the hourly, exactly why I took this trade based on supply and demand principles, and I'm going to leave out the mechanical aspects just to respect the members of Evolve who have actually now subscribed and have access to the criteria of the strategy itself. So starting out on the weekly, I had this area of supply drawn in, but from a technical aspect, I was actually looking at this just being a catalyst for a short-term pullback, and this being a potential breakout and a continuation for a potential long. So I was only looking for a short-term sell to these previous highs, because if we were to continue further, we'd either need to come down to the previous high or retest the trend line to confirm that trend. However, obviously there's been a lot of impact in the markets this week due to various reasons around either oil or the coronavirus. Now, before I took this trade, the impact of the coronavirus hadn't really hit that hard. So there was no way I could have known to be holding this for maybe a longer term trade. However, I ended up closing just for a quick 1-to-1 based on a manual close. So with regards to the weekly again, we can see that we've pushed off of this weekly gap. So this was an area of demand, pushed up, broken out of this descending channel that we've had in the weekly ever since the end of 2018. We've broken out and then we've found resistance in this area of supply. We've got this pullback move, so I was looking to target these previous highs. So based on that, we move down into the daily, where we can also see a refined area on daily supply that we've reacted and then we've retraced. So I'm looking to ride this down to this previous high to see if this can confirm, and then we carry on and develop a trend from there. So that's based on the daily. So we've got both weekly and daily supply that is now being fulfilled. And then just on the 4 hourly, if we just move price back, it was around this point. Once we get this price action, I was essentially just looking for the first pullback based on the key mechanical criteria of the T&G strategy, just to get in and look in to see whether price can reach this area here and then carry on from there. So this is my soft target, knowing that we could either retest this previous high or go further into this area of H4 demand, which will be more of a key value area to have this continuation to the upside. So really just playing the pullback move from here. How did we actually get into this? So as you can see, we've still got that H4 previous high. So if we just move price back, it was once we got this first break here and then this, that I started looking for a T&G. This showing that we've now created a new trend, looking to ride that trend down to around here. So if we keep playing price forward, it was on this candle here where I entered based on my entry criteria, stops just above for a 60 pip stop, and then overall target being 1.5, and obviously if that didn't hold, I'll be looking to hold further. However, I'll go through the reason why I did close out in a second. So if we just play it forward, price retraced, nothing to worry about, and then once we get down to here, we can see that we haven't quite broken the bottom. We're holding this as support, so therefore this is telling me that we haven't actually got the desired outcome that I'm kind of looking for. Really, I'd like to see a convincing break of this to carry on that trend and then retrace to go lower. So coming very close to the time that I'd be going to bed. As you can see, we're still failing to break this low. We're just breaking very correctively. And also the way we're descending is showing more of a reversal formation that could occur based around this area of value that we're looking for, that potential reversal. So to me, I'd rather close out, especially rather than holding it overnight and taking either a break even or a loss, closing the trade with some profit rather than just accepting a loss or a break even for the sake of it. So as we were descending quite correctively like this, it was at this point here at 11 o'clock that I just decided to close it, because what we could get happen, if we push up from here and then this becomes a fifth wave formation, which we discuss in the Evolve strategies in the market analysis section. Essentially this could be the catalyst to be pushing up and then this being continuation. Now obviously we didn't quite reach the lows, but we know we didn't have to. So I'd rather close out here than end up break even or a potential loss. Now if we just run price forward, if I'd moved to break even before going to bed, that would have ended up hitting break even. So therefore I would have given back 1% to the market for no reason whatsoever. Now price did go on and break the lows. But how was I to know that this would actually happen? Based on my technicals and my analysis, if I'm looking for potential to the upside, I'm not going to be as conservative with something like this. I'd rather wait for this low to break and then be invalidated, or at least reach this area of demand over here, which if we just move price forward, we can see we're now respecting. So really it's a case of next week, perhaps we do break up and then this trend continues on from there. That's a possibility. I'd rather see this invalidate and then look for a potential sell based on the T&G criteria to the downside from there than accept a loss or a break even based on what the market is telling me. Now, if I'd taken a position from up here or even around here, then I could have been a lot more conservative until we had reached these lows and then probably have capitalized on this move. But the fact that I got in on this T&G setup, it meant that I had to be a little bit more aggressive based on the possibility of a reversal taking place there. So it's not about knowing whether you're going to be wrong or right in every situation. It's just being able to actually capitalize on your strategy and actually get some form of return. So as you can see, this was still a completely textbook setup in terms of the strategies that I employed to the markets. I just didn't extract as much profit out of it as I possibly could, and there's nothing wrong with that. So anyway guys, hopefully that was of interest to you, and if you would like to understand more behind the strategies that I use to trade, there is a link in the description as usual. Feel free to check it out, and if you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. It helps with the old YouTube algorithm, and I shall see you in the next video. Cheers guys.